Bull or bear? Coin got it right last night. Looks like a bear. Go figured, but wouldn't surprise me. Good evening. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals and Bullion.com. Got the live Deerfield, or I should say, I'm sorry, Hillsboro inlet cam up. Looks like you got a, look how beautiful and calm that water is tonight. Absolutely gorgeous, 81 degrees. And got a little fishing boat coming in here. Hope they got a boatload of fish there. Maybe they were out there just for a little bit of swimming, but what a beautiful evening. For those of you that are not familiar with inlets, that is a dredge, keeps the sand out of the inlet so boats don't get stuck in here. And Hillsboro Inlet, famous inlet in the United States because it's still got one of the original Fresnel lenses that are up here. I think you'll see it rotate. I told you a story last week how this Fresnel lens right here shines directly into the top 10th floor of a condo directly across from here at intervals of 20 seconds. I don't think they knew it before they bought their condos either. It's one of those deals. I bet those condos are for sale all the time. Can you imagine having a lighthouse beam that's visible for 2.5 miles shining in your 10th floor oceanside condo window? Again, every 20 seconds. Beautiful evening though, 81 degrees. Hope you, wherever you live, that your weather and your town is as, or your state, wherever you live, is as beautiful as ours is here in Florida. Hey, let's take a look at spot prices here. Again, the coin gave us a bull last night. She was correct. She, he, they, whatever you want to call it, was correct. And current spot prices at 1769.06. Market is closed 22.21 and 1,038. Looks like it opens in 9 minutes. Maybe we'll check back and see what happens. But markets overall were up. There's a love and hate relationship with these spot markets right here. These spot markets, I've been consistently saying, reminding everyone, they're bullshit. They're based on derivative paper prices, and they are. It's based on the crooked casino called the COMEX markets. That's my opinion of people that are way smarter than me. So these prices really reflect nothing that's organic. Organic meaning supply and demand issues. Organic meaning a real market. These markets right here in gold and silver, these prices right here are simply fixed, manipulated by collusive big commercial banks out there that play in the COMEX markets and the LBMA markets. No less. We have to rely on some kind of price structure to come up with the numbers that we do daily. We've not replaced it with anything better as of yet. That could change. Maybe, well, it's tough to say how this gets fixed because obviously the regulators, the CFTC, have done nothing about this. But again, that's the rabbit hole we've gone down many times before. My point being is these prices are total, utter bullshit. More or less what you've got going on here is just manipulated prices driven by derivatives. And if you take a look at the CME group, even in their own comments here, let's see, CME, ready? CME group. They readily admit that that's exactly what they are. Hang on, let's read this for 1 second. And by the way, this video is not brought to you by the CME Group, the world's leading crooks in the derivative paper markets. Except we're going to accept their cookies. They're probably going to listen to this video. World's leading derivatives marketplace. We're not talking about the world's leading commodities marketplace. They clearly say right here, folks, derivatives. What are derivatives? Well, you can take a look for yourself. Google it. By the way, it's kind of interesting. Someone that says Google is now a verb, not just a noun. It's a verb, and that's true. Google it is a verb now. So you want to know what a derivative is and what the CME Group really deals in, which is paper bullshit derivatives. And again, these are the people that set our prices here, folks, all right? So even though everyone's hurraying, look, 1769, 22, 21, 1038 platinum. It's up. It's easy to forget about the manipulation is still happening even on these up prices, these higher prices. So don't you ever forget that. But meanwhile, what does that really mean? In my opinion, well, it means that we're buying this stuff at just like dirt cheap on sale prices because the manipulation has been mostly to cap the price of gold and silver, to keep them below a certain level. They've done that for decades with the price of silver and probably with the price of gold as well. Where am I going with this? Well, as I've said repeatedly over and over and over, no one would complain if the price of gasoline was fixed and was, actually the price of gasoline has been fixed for decades because of the dollar-Saudi relationship, but it's hard to complain when you can buy a commodity super cheap, unless, of course, you have to sell that commodity and you're in a position where you need to raise cash and or your lifespan is not that long and you've been waiting for the up price. In that case, folks, the best thing I can tell you is remember that this has always been about wealth preservation. No matter what state you're in, whether you have to sell gold and silver, whether you don't have to sell it, and you're patiently waiting for an up market where you can feel that your net worth is worth more because gold, silver, and platinum are worth more, relax, 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 because gold and silver and platinum have always been about wealth preservation. It's always been about, and especially if you're ill and you're elderly, you can say, well, listen, I've been waiting for gold and silver to go up for quite some time. I'm 70 years old. I'm 60 years old. Whatever it is. I really don't feel like I can wait that long. But really, think about this. Out of all the assets that you own, maybe other than your property, and your property can be taken away by anybody. Out of all the assets you own, like your IRAs, your 401ks, your investment plans, your fund money on your stock program, your Social Security and these kind of things, your bank account. You could wake up one morning and you remember the South Park cartoon where the banker tells Kyle after he deposited his money, it's all gone. It's gone. It's gone. You can wake up in the morning and find that stuff is gone. It's not a high probability, but it is a probability, and a probability that you will never have to worry about with gold, silver, and platinum, because for a 5,000-year track record, especially with gold and silver, not so much with platinum, these are rare, precious commodities that have always been used in lieu of cash, and for 5,000 years, they've performed that way exactly. They've never gone to zero. They've never become worthless. They're still coveted to this day. As much as a lot of investment people and dumbasses will tell you, well, you don't want to own gold, so it's just a shiny rock. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. 5,000-year track record. You're never going to wake up and hear it went broke. And if you really think about it, what do the frickin' central bankers, the same people that want to push their fiat paper bullshit on your asses, just like the derivatives with the CME group, they're paper bullshit. What would you rather own, the paper bullshit or a real commodity that's been around for 5,000 years? They're pushing the paper bullshit on you. Meanwhile, they're saying, well, gold and silver doesn't really mean anything. But what do central banks own? What are the most influential, most important decision makers, the people that really rule the earth, central bankers? What do they own? What do they keep in their stock, in their back room? Well, obviously, the Federal Reserve has been hoodwinked out of their gold a long time ago or stole it from us. Unless there really is that much gold in Fort Knox, that's a question. But what does the Central Bank of Russia, central banks of a lot of countries all over the world, what do they own? What do they covet? Gold. All right? So you're never going to wake up and hear it went to zero. You're never going to wake up and hear it's gone. That's the beauty of gold, silver, and platinum, folks. While I'm in that right here, Ronan Manley, LBMA is a fractional reserve banking fraud like FTX. You said it, buddy. Good article here. I recommend that if you got this bookmarked on your bookmark bar, you read this article. Pretty good stuff. And gata.org. If you're new to my videos, of course, you know that I tell you that this definitely should be on your bookmark bar. Let me make sure I'm not. Make sure I'm practicing what I preach. There it is, GAT. I got it on my bookmark bar. So you definitely should be reading this. For the people that tell you how gold is manipulated, who manipulates it, and the where and the whys of all this, gata.org is the best source for that, in my opinion. All right, who's the best source for silver? I still like Ted Butler, a paid subscription service. If you want to read the Butler research paper, which talks about how silver is manipulated to a very specific, a lot of specifics there, a lot of detail, but Ted Butler tells you in a layman's sense that you can understand it, okay? But the problem is, again, folks, I wish I could tell you could read Butler research for free. You really can't for his updated articles, but when it comes to his articles out there, he's got a lot of them. just type in your Google or DuckDuckGo, which I DuckDuckGoose, whatever it is, which I use, or any other search engine. Type in Ted Butler silver manipulation. You can read a lot of great articles by him. Again, gata.org when it comes to gold manipulation. Butler Research, Ted Butler when it comes to silver manipulation. Both things that you should definitely have highlighted. I don't think I have Ted Butler Research bookmarked up here, but again, a subscription site. Highly recommend it. Folks, I'm going to talk about what the best deals are in silver primarily tonight. Based on my title, you can tell we're going to talk about silver eagles and constitutional silver. But as far as gold goes, nothing has changed since last night's video. More or less, nothing has changed for the videos in the last couple years. I've been consistently saying that gold 1 ounce bars are the best deal out there. They have dropped $10 per ounce, spot plus $75. Gold Eagles, even the price of Gold Eagles, as my title last night suggested, Gold Eagle prices collapsed, and that's exactly what they did. Gold Eagles were spot plus $225. Now they're what? Spot plus, again, I think I did the math for you last night. Make sure I'm right. I could be wrong, but spot plus, excuse me, there we go. Spot plus 175 or less. I mean, that's down substantially from where it's been. Let me just make sure I'm quoting that properly. And no, even cheaper. My God, cheaper than yesterday. Hang on one second. Spot. Be nice if I knew how to add. Okay. $165 over. That's a great deal for Gold Eagles. I mean, compared to where it's been, 180 to 225. But still, you know, even at 165 over, that's still double the premium of what you would pay for gold bars, Perth Mint, Valcombis, which I've been carrying, and those other type products. And by the way, I'm going to throw my little sales pitch in here. We advertise here at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals and ConciergeBullion.com to beat APMEX, SD, and JM Bullion. They're the big three 800-pound gorillas out there. We also advertise to beat the big boys as well, doing large quantities such as Miles Franklin, who I have a lot of respect for. I have a respect for all these companies, as you know, because, by the way, if you're going to compete with someone and compete and be straight up with it, who are you going to compete with? You're going to compete with the best. So as far as dealers go, I will beat the prices of the best guys out there. I will also beat the prices of the local people here in South Florida as well. All right, got my advertising out of the way. Bars are still the best deal out there, folks. You can pick up bars, as I said last night. Spot plus, oh my gosh, that is cheap. Spot plus $75. Or less, depending on the quantity that you're buying on 1 ounce gold bars. Eagles, but I have to say, like I did last night, the Eagle prices have collapsed as far as premiums go. They have crashed. They are substantially lower than they used to be. So, you know, if you wanted the Gold Eagle right now, I couldn't complain too much if you bought one. I'd still say that you could pay half the price for a gold bar, but way better than paying $200, $225 over for it. Well, I missed out last night on gold maple leafs. The premiums on maples put maples in that $110 area, which again, compared to a gold bar, it's still 20 to $35 more per ounce. You know, you could buy a gold bar plus a silver eagle, overpriced silver eagle, or a 1 ounce silver eagle and get some change back, 1 ounce generic bar, and get some change back for the same price you could buy a gold eagle for, or I'm sorry, a maple leaf for. You could buy a gold bar and 2 ounces of silver and maybe get some change back for the same price you could buy a gold eagle. I'd rather have the gold bar and 2 ounces of silver if you ask me. No great advantage. You know, other than people's emotional aspects and they love silver eagles and gold eagles, there's no good reason to buy them, folks. There really isn't. You know, you're buying gold here. You're not buying design. You're not buying something you can put out in your front yard so people can admire you. You're buying gold here. It gets locked in your safe. Gold is gold as long as it's in a recognizable form. Pay the least amount that you can for it. Krugerrands, limited availability out there. They're around spot plus $100. And what other products? You know, elephants are really cool. I got elephants available to me right now. They're South African. They have a cool elephant on them, made by a sovereign country. Spot plus $100 thereabouts. And let's get into silver because nothing has much changed since last night in the gold prices. If you want to know more about what I talked about, watch last night's video. 1 ounce, let's talk about 1 ounce silver eagles. Silver schneagles, all right? Silver Eagle prices have come down substantially as far as on the wholesale market. I don't know if you guys are seeing it out there on your retail level with your local shops and the online guys. We can take a look at SD, JM, and APMEX Bullion. And by the way, I beat their prices too. Had to throw that in there as well. Best deals out there. And premium prices on the generics, folks, have come down as well. I'm really pleasantly surprised. It's good for you guys out there, even though the price of silver has shot up today. Premiums have decreased dramatically. I mean, hell's bells. Hang on a second here. You know, you can buy 100-ounce bars now for spot plus 350 or less. If you remember, not too long ago, some of the premiums on 100-ounce bars are spot plus 450 to 550 over and more. All right, so they've come down quite a bit on the generics. And 10-ounce Valcombi bars, we got a great deal on those if you want some. Spot plus $4 or less, depending on the quantity that you're buying. And what else? 90%. Let's just get into the gust of what I was going to tell you about, is that 90% prices have come down dramatically too. I suspect that this week we'll see that the selling and the buying prices on the wholesale level will drop another $1 per ounce. Currently, where are we? We're about $2 per ounce down on the wholesale markets on the bid prices. You know what dealers want to pay on 90%. That should reflect to lower prices on the retail side with the sites like APMEX, SD, and J and Bullion, which I can beat. I did that in like 7 seconds, didn't I? 90% prices have come down. They have legitimately crashed at some point. You know, crash in a premium way. Not the price of silver's crashed, but the premiums on constitutional silver have crashed when you consider that constitutional silver was bringing $10 and $11 wholesale over on the ask prices. And the wholesale bid prices were at least $2 or more higher than they are right now. But still, you're going to ask me, is 90% silver a good buy right now, Brian? Constitutional silver? It's still a shitty buy, guys. Stay away from it. Still overpriced even at these levels. I thought it was stupidly overpriced even at the higher levels. It's still not a good price. 100-ounce, 10-ounce, and kilo generic bars are the best deal out there, bar none. Get my pun there. But you know, silver, if you wanted to add a few Silver Eagles just for shits and giggles to your stack, or just wanted to give them for gifts, they are a little bit cheaper right now. Prices have crashed on them to some degree. Crashed to the degree that they're affordable and a reasonably priced? No. But crashed from where they have? Absolutely. Come down quite substantially. Silver Eagle, well, we're going to get into Silver Eagles. I just talked about 90%. Silver Eagles, yeah, absolutely too, because the premiums have come down by at least $2 or $2.50 an ounce for common date Silver Eagles. Which should represent to the retail buyers out there that you should be paying at least $1 or 2 ounce cheaper than you were a couple weeks ago and even longer. All right, so the premium is very reasonable. I mean, not reasonable. They still suck on Silver Eagles, but compared to where they've been, they're not as bad. The premiums have crashed on Silver Eagles as well. I suspect that next week that we're going to see them down $1 or 2 more for 90% and Silver Eagles. Why that is? It's simply supply and demand factor. There's apparently not enough demand for 90% and Silver Eagles to sustain the premiums that they were bringing for a while. Either that, or there was a couple big orders that have been filled, or a lot of supply came into the market. I suspect that there's truth to a little bit of everything there myself. Things to stay away from, again, I've been saying it, 90% constitutional silver. Don't buy it, folks, unless you just want to own a little bit for fun, shits and giggles. Don't buy Silver Eagles right now because they're still overpriced. Don't buy U.S. Morgan dollars or Peace dollars, low grades, assuming that they're 1 ounce when they're really not. Premiums are pretty high on those as well. Krugerrands, Noah's Arks, Silver Maple Leafs. Premiums are still too high on those. Stick with the generics. Trust me on that. I know what I'm talking about. I haven't talked about platinum for a while. What's the best deal on platinum? Well, just like gold, just like silver, it's the bars. It's the bars. It's always the bars. Stay away from the, well, hang on a second. Let me take a look and see where the, you know what? Quite frankly, it's pretty high based on the price of platinum. 1 ounce platinum Eagles are not a bad buy if you're going to spend about $135 over. But remember, $135 over on an item that's $1,000, not $1,700 is high. Okay. Other than that, the best deal out there is still going to be 1 ounce platinum bars, and they're at spot plus $95. So you know what? not a huge difference on gold Platinum Eagles, and I do like Platinum Eagles. I think the pretty cool looking, but no matter what, that's the drinking. By the way, here, have a sip real quick. That's the drinking word of the night. By the way, you're drunk by now. So, best deals out there, worst deals out there. Just gave them to you. Let me get into last night's video real quick, which was the Gold Eagle price crash, where I discussed silver Eagles and 90% silver have just today, a day later after Gold Eagle prices have come down, are starting to come down as well. That's what the title is about tonight, is how the premiums have crashed on silver and Gold Eagles and 90%. But meanwhile, let me answer questions from last night's video. I haven't done this for a little while. And it's an evening report, of course. What time is it already? 81 degrees, 6:10 in the evening here, and I'm still working. Sorry to hear that. I never looked at that site particular. I know that he's an admirable fellow and has good prices when it comes to larger quantities. But like I said, here goes my advertising spiel. I will beat his prices as well. Algo food for sure. Thank you, appreciate all the algo food you guys can give me. Do I ship? I do not, Fatmir. Did I pronounce that right, Fatmir or Fatmir? I'm sorry if I didn't. I try to pronounce names the best I can, but I don't ship, unfortunately, unless you're buying quantities of 1,500 ounces or more in silver and more than 100 ounces of gold. In that case, I do have a company called ConciergeBullion.com that deals in larger quantities, that does secure shipping. We do wires and all that stuff. But under 1,500 ounces of silver and under 100 ounces of gold, we have a brick and mortar shop only called Commercial Rare Coins. Some people say, well, Brian, why don't you open up a site like SD, JM, or APMEX Bullion? I would love to, always wanted to, but you know, folks, those are $1 million websites. I mean, they spend a huge amount of money maintaining and creating those websites. I think it's a bit late in my life, in my game, and my finances to start kind of working on that level. But no less, I can beat their prices. And if you're a larger buyer out there, I can ship. So there's no need to buy from them at all. Quad Trap, thanks, Welco. Be well as yourself. Be well as well. I'd personally rather pay $100 over for maple versus a card bar. $25 difference in price there. You know, I'm cheap like that, Quad Trap. I would rather buy the 1 ounce gold bar in a card and get a generic Silver Eagle. Get a generic 1 ounce silver. So I'd rather get an ounce of gold and an ounce of silver for the same price that you would pay for that maple leaf. But again, I'm cheap like that. Some people like product names. I can't argue with that. But an ounce of gold in a bar, an ounce of gold in a maple is the same thing, just a different shape and struck by a different entity. Michael Matthews, what's up? One more sip. Cheers to you, my friend. Hey, you saw I did a coffee video this week. I got one done in the morning. Just been crazy busy in the mornings, though. And in the evenings. I like the night ones, okay by me. The night videos, too. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been doing a lot of those. It's getting dark early here, too, as well. Below spot price, I'm not quite sure. Yeah. I wish stuff could. You know what? It's funny, though. I remember at one time that Silver Eagles were wholesale. This is 2016 or 2017. Think about this. Silver Eagles cost me spot plus $1. That's how unloved and disinterested people were in that time. Spot plus $1. Can you imagine buying Silver Eagles for spot plus $1? And I was selling for spot plus $2. So what a huge difference in premiums we have right now. Robert H., what's up? Larry Navarro says, how much you paying for a mixed bag of 90%? If you have a full bag, I would pay you the silver price plus $4.50 per ounce. So whatever the price of silver is, add $4.50 an ounce, multiply it times 715. That'll give you what a bag is worth. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. And I always rather teach someone how to fish than give them a fish. That's why I gave them all the math on that. Connor Larson says, what should someone be paying if they were buy 2 kilograms of silver bars? Kilograms right now, I'm a seller at, here, in small quantities, kilogram bars, I'm a seller at spot plus, where are you? There you are. Spot plus $3.50 on kilo bars right now. The new sheet came out. They're a good deal. Spot plus $3.50 on kilo and no more. That's what we sell them for. And in larger quantities, you can probably buy them cheaper. All we can demand is control central banksters. Central bankers control the world, tree climber. We just got to get over it and realize that that's the way it is. Fighting City Hall. Not quite sure how to do that, but of course the game is rigged, but if you know how the game is rigged, you're in a distinct advantage there, and that's what we are. We know how the game is rigged. We know who rigs it, how they do it, and there's a lot to be gained from that. Thanks for watching, Tree Climber. Appreciate your comments as always. Tracy Barrow says, thanks, Brian. Take care. You as well. Thanks, Tracy. Celeste, what's up? Always love seeing you commenting. What about gifts and rounds for the grandkids? My mom always gave proofs every Christmas. Celeste, that's the old school days. We don't get hardly anyone buying silver for gifts anymore. It's kind of a weird thing. I remember that as a kid, proof sets, mint sets you would get. You would get a silver round or bar in the Christmas card, but they just don't do it anymore. I don't know if they're just not giving gifts or what the deal is. Financial consultancy says the stock market is a device for transferring money from the patient to patient, more profit. Exactly. Love your title there, by the way. I was kind of thinking, I said, is that someone trying to sell something on my channel? No, it's just a great title. Kevin Bai says they'd be interested in buying 250 plus for a fair price for silver buffaloes, rounds of Troy's, 1 ounce generics. We have them here, but we don't ship unless we're shipping more than 1,500 ounces at a time. If you were buying less than 1,500 ounces of silver, you'd have to come in and buy it. And we would be selling the buffaloes for spot plus $3.85 over, according to the new sheet I just printed out moments before I started this video. Spot plus $3.85. Do you okay. Besides selling precious metal coins, but do you personally? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. I've been accumulating silver since probably, well, there were times when I was a young man, when I started in the business in 1977, that I bought silver, but I couldn't hold on to it. Really, for decades, I've been buying gold and silver, and I've been stacking both those items. I also have coins. I like rare coins. And of course, I'm a rare coin expert, and something I do just as good as precious metals. So yeah, I do all that stuff, actually. A good question. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate that. I'm not used to answering questions about myself personally. Eli says, great content. I've heard others say if we're going to stack emergencies and bartering, why stack? Because of wealth preservation. Emergencies or bartering, that's not a bad reason to stack, but honestly, you're really stacking because it's about wealth preservation, and as long as you've got it in your hands, you're never going to wake up and hear, it's gone, Mr. Eli. Well, anyway, thanks for commenting. Strongman, I hope you're doing well as well, and I appreciate all my commenters out there. Yesterday's video, that was the actual Duval Street in Key West live cam, couple folks walking by there. Again, don't have my normal fish cameras on because most of them are broken after the last storm, and it's nighttime. It's hard to see the ones that are on. Hey, listen, that's it. This is Brian Kuzmar saying think for yourself, question authority. I'm not saying that. Timothy Leary said that, but great advice. I advise that you do this for yourself, even if you think if the data and information and stuff in your brain is something that someone else taught you, no matter how much you loved them and how much you respected and trusted them, it never hurts to question what you learned from someone else, no matter how well-intentioned they are. So that means really think for yourself and question authority. And authority could be even the people you love with the most best intentions, but may have got it wrong. Therefore, if you trust them wholesale, you got it wrong. Always, always check what you think you know, because it may not be true. That's it. This is Brian Kuzmar with ConciergeBullion.com. If you're buying more than 100 ounces of gold, more than 1,500 ounces of silver, contact us at ConciergeBullion.com, and truthfully, you can contact us at Commercial Rare Coins too as well. For some reason, I thought it was a good idea to start this other site here for people looking to buy larger quantities and have them shipped to them. But no less, if you're looking to buy larger quantities, we're your person to do it with, ConciergeBullion.com. And also Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals, which happens to be our brick and mortar here in South Florida. We're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. Same location since 1995, and I've been doing this since 1977. So, hey, thanks for watching, folks. That's it. And again, my show is coming up here real quick. As you know, I inherited from my father his Lakeland Collectorama show, his Lakeland Coin and Currency show, which is happening here in, hang on a second, there, go backwards, December 15th through the 17th. So if you live anywhere South Florida, come by to the show. Go to the collectoramashow.com and get your free tickets here. And if you're a dealer and you want to set up a table, I only got a couple left though. Give us a call here. But meanwhile, free tickets right here. Get you and the family in just by clicking that ticket or clicking that button right there. And again, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful evening. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you out there. Good night now. Bye.